You can fast track the success of your campaign by almost 2 to 3 times by learning from others' experience and the mistakes they have made. In this video, I'll talk about 8 must do things before publishing your first campaign. This is the list created from years of experience running Google Ads campaigns. So this will be a very useful one and will be filled with lots of information. I've prepared a free checklist containing all the factors which I'll be talking in this video, so you can make sure you tick all these options before publishing your first campaign. The link for the file will be in the video description. So the first one is proper conversion tracking and goal setup. This is very important because the better the data you send to Google, the better your campaign optimization becomes. So firstly, make sure that your goal setup at the campaign level is correct and that you're not having two primary goals which are completely opposite to each other. For example, page views and lead form submits, which I do in some strategies. But if that is not your strategy, make sure that the primary goals you have set for the campaigns aligns with your goal, and make sure that the tracking data is being recorded. Like for example, if someone fills your lead form or purchases a product, so make sure if that data is being sent to the Google or not. You can easily check that using Google Tag Manager in the preview mode. So the second one is tracking URLs. This is one of the very important things. So if you haven't placed the tracking URL in your campaigns or at the account level, your entire effort will go in vain. Because without this, the CRM may not show that the lead came from Google Ads. And even if you have worked so hard, your effort won't be recognized. So the way I do this, I place one URL at the campaign level and one at the account level. So that even if I forget sometimes to keep the tracking URL at the campaign level, I have one backup at the account level. If you want a tracking URL, I'll place it in the description. So the third one is location settings. Always set this to presence only. So if it is set to presence or interest, Google shows up your ads for people interested in the location as well. For example, if you're advertising iPhones in United States, you don't want to show your ads for people living in India, right? In this case, in your location options, if you have set presence or interest as the option, the ads show up to people present in other locations as well if they're interested in United States. So basically if they're interested in your target location. So you have to change this to presence only. So the next one is avoid broad match keywords. So if you know what you're doing, you can go ahead with that. But if you're just starting out, I suggest going with exact match, especially because going with broad or phrase match can show up your ads for a lot of irrelevant searches. The next one is negative keyword lists. This saves your budget and is also a proactive measure. For example, let's say you're Apple company and you are selling iPhones. Like you want to run the ads just for the iPhones and not for the cases, iPhone cases and everything like the accessories. So in this case, you don't want to show up your ads for iPhone cases or Apple carriers, right? Hence, adding negative keywords before itself saves you a lot of irrelevant clicks. So if you're not sure about which negative keyword lists to add, you can explain clearly what your ad campaign is and what you're trying to do into ChatGPT, and it will give you a couple of negative keyword lists that you can just copy paste in your account. So from next time you create any new campaign, you can just apply this saved negative keyword list to any campaign. So this is what the negative keyword list looks like for one campaign I manage. So this one I basically explained what the campaign is and what the company is, what the campaign is, everything in detail to ChatGPT, and it gave me a couple of negative keyword lists that I just saved it at the account level. So the next one is targeting too many keywords. This is one mistake I made earlier in my career, and I also see many people doing it when they start Google Ads campaigns. So I was advertising for more than 50 keywords for a budget of around $100 per day, which if we do the basic math doesn't make any sense. So let's say if the average CPC in your industry is around $10, so in just 10 clicks, the daily budget is gone, right? And if you have like a couple of keywords in your campaign, not even one keyword will get sufficient budget to perform at its best. Hence, less is more in keywords. So check all the keywords you're targeting and the maximum bids of the keywords or the average bid for this keyword. So in this way, you'll understand if you have sufficient budget for all the keywords you're targeting. Because ultimately, if your main keywords do not even show up half of the times because your other keywords are eating away budget before the main keywords, you won't get sufficient results or you won't get the results you're looking for. So the next one is throwing all keywords in one campaign or one ad group. So you have to segment keywords based on their theme into different ad groups so that you can write relevant ad copy and then build a relevant landing page which has the same experience. So let's say you are advertising on the keywords iPhone 15, 16 and 17. So if you only have one ad group for all these keywords, how can you write relevant ad copy and then drive people to relevant landing page? If you have like three ad copies, one for iPhone 15, one for 16, and one for 17, in that case, you can write relevant ad copy in each ad group and then drive people to the relevant landing page. So if you're throwing all the keywords in one ad group, and if people saw your ad when they type the keyword iPhone 15, but then when they come to the landing page, if they see that the landing page shows that it sells iPhone 17, they won't convert, right? Like they immediately leave the website because it is not a relevant experience for them, or it is not what they're looking for, and which weights your budget and your quality score as well. So as soon as you divide ad groups based on the themes, your quality score will also increase. And the last one, you have to turn on and off some settings in the campaign. So basically there are two settings that needs to be turned on, which is auto tagging and enhanced conversions, and these two should be turned off, which is automatically created assets and auto apply recommendations. Trust me, I've seen the campaigns, I've turned them on for a couple of weeks, and the assets Google creates in automatically created assets, they're pretty bad, they're not up to the mark. Same with auto apply recommendations as well. I prefer always keeping them off. So I've prepared a free checklist containing all these factors and much more. So you can make sure that you tick all these options before you publish your campaign. So if you want to download that file, the link for the file will be present in the video description. So I could only cover 8 topics in this video because it is becoming too big of a video. There are 8 more factors to consider before launching your first campaign or at the initial phase of your campaign. You can click here to watch the video. Thanks for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in that video.